everybody, happy Monday and welcome to another edition of Solving Your Stress mini-series. I am your host Sam, and every Monday we get together at 12:30 and we talk about stress, how you can use tactics, strategies, and tools to get through the stressful times. There will always be stress. But if you have the right strategies in your corner, in your toolbox, you can move through those a lot faster than most. So I want to thank you for being with us today in this community. As always, I am answering your questions, the stuff that you send in to me or we talk about in a different chat. And if you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and jump over to my YouTube channel. It's just look up Samantha Horwitz. And if you are watching this on YouTube, jump on over to Facebook at the Sam Horwitz and hit the follow. And so we're going to get started right here. Just want to adjust the camera a little bit. Get my my favorite friend in here that's over my shoulder. Today is personal. You know, we're in Texas and we just went through a really crazy time with Snowmageddon 2021, and there was a lot of stress around that, and found myself in the quiet areas, kind of, you know, fielding calls, looking at emails, finding out what people did to get through it, the things that are stressing them out. And it came to me, this feeling and this understanding for people that they felt alone. A lot of people felt alone through this. And I would imagine that if you're going through things like, you know, post-traumatic stress, stress in general, really tough times, that you might feel like you're alone too. Certainly, I completely understand what that feels like. And that's the biggest problem, is that we can do it to ourselves. Because if we're used to kind of putting on this persona and being out there all the time, me in law enforcement, I mean, there wasn't room for a lot of self-thought, for a lot of self-assessment. It was go, 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 got a job to do, got a mission. And so we often self-isolate when things get really, really crazy. And it's partly a protective mechanism because we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But when we do that, we don't do the things that we need to do, which is to reach out. Because that's when you realize that you're actually not alone. So reaching out to a family member, a trusted friend, your spouse, your dog, I mean, whatever it takes. And what it does is it allows you to turn that release valve on, if you will, for the stress. Give it an out. Think of it as a fire hose for some people, that they've got all this stuff just built up and they got to get it out. And you crank that fire hose to the on and it's like boom. So even if you have to talk to your dog to let it go, you got to get it out. And so many of us make the mistake of holding it in, thinking that we have the solution to every single one of the issues and problems that come up. And yeah, I'm looking down. I have notes because this is so important. This was so visceral, especially these past bunch of days. Like I said, if you're in Texas and you went through Snowmageddon, the loss of your power, your water, some people went for extended periods, and it was crazy. And a lot of people had the courage to ask for help, but some people didn't. They just kept it. They're like, I'll figure it out. I'm good. So I also understand that with that, you're probably a little scared to reach out. Maybe you've never reached out for help before. Ask for it. So there's fear around it. Maybe you don't want to be judged. Like, I mean, certainly Sam, the Secret Service agent, I didn't want people to think, well, what's wrong with her, number one, and why can't she figure this out? Now, with post-traumatic stress, the thinking part of the brain goes, boop. So I literally couldn't figure out what was going on. But with that came a lot of, call it stigma or judgment attached, that people were used to me being a certain way. And I didn't want them to see me as weak. And there are so many of us out there that go through this on a daily basis. And I want to let you know from somebody that's been there that it is absolutely okay. And I realized through a bunch of years of therapy, a ton of years of learning, and I still am learning, because you never stop learning. Okay, that's the beautiful thing about the journey called life. You gotta stay in the game. And what I learned is it takes the same amount of courage to ask for help that it does to step in front of a bullet. Like I said, I was a Secret Service agent. Okay, and when you kind of step back from it and you look at it, it's like, wow, that is like one of the most courageous things that I could do, is to ask for help. Yes, it is, because it's not until you reach out and you ask for help that you realize you're not alone. And you also realize that your problem or your stress or your issue may not be as bad as somebody else's. And this is going to sound weird, but it's almost a sense of relief to say, oh, I'm glad I'm not going through what he's going through or what she's going through. But then you can be a sounding board and a listening board for each other. And when you realize that you're not alone in the journey, and that you've got amazing people that are going through some of the same things you are, doesn't get much better than that. And then you build a network from there. So I want to encourage you, whatever the stress is from, whether it be post-traumatic stress, like super anxiety, depression, maybe from the job or a family situation, reach out, because you're not alone. That's the message for today, folks. You are not alone. If you want more tips, tools, and tactics on how to solve your stress, super easy. I've got free training that I set up. Go to solveyourstress.com. You get me for 1 hour. You're going to walk away from that training with more tools, more tactics, and more training that you can put in your toolbox, because that's what it's about. Through life, you got to build a really, really big toolbox, so when the storms of life and Mother Nature come at you, you've got that to fall back on, and you say to yourself, oh, I got this. Been there, done that, right? And if you want a whole bunch more about stress and you're not subscribed to my blog, you get everything stress related delivered right to your email. Visit my website, SamanthaHorowitz.com. Sign up for my blog, and like I said, twice a month, you will have awesome articles. Recently did some podcasts all about stress delivered right to you. I want to invite you to connect with me on social media. If you're here on Facebook, yay, at the Sam Horowitz. I'm the same on Twitter. It's at the Sam Horowitz. And again, visit me on my YouTube channel, Samantha Horowitz, and on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we're doing a lot of fun stuff over there on LinkedIn. So if you got a LinkedIn profile, visit me at my LinkedIn page. Again, at Samantha Horowitz, my first name, last name. So until next week, guys, go out today. You are not alone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make it filled with a lot less stress, knowing that you got to take the first step. So choose to reach out, because you're not alone. Till next time, folks. Sam out.